Good day, Couple Connect Tribe. How are you doing? I am very, very excited to be here with you. Trust you're excited as well. How have you been? Awesome to be here. If you're here live, please type in the comments. Let's know that you're here. And if you're catching this on a replay, please also type in the comments. Let's know that you came here. So how are you doing? Let me know where you're watching from. Okay? Once you come in, please let's know how you're doing and where you are watching from. Alright? So today is another exciting and beautiful Saturday. Today basically is a catch-up on our Thursday training. I wasn't able to make it on Thursday, and I apologize for that. So I have decided to make it up today, being Saturday. So how are you doing? What's happening today? Any party, any cooking, traveling, resting? What are you up to? Okay, so while we wait for others, we'll just start. Today we're going to be talking about apology and forgiveness in marriage. Apology and forgiveness in marriage. This is it's a wide topic, and it's a very important topic, right, to talk about or to discuss and share in this community. All right, and I'm very excited and to be sharing this today. So it's going to be a very practical one. Be a very practical one. So please, I crave your indulgence to participate. All right, feel free to ask your questions. Feel free to make your contributions as well. Okay. So apology and forgiveness in marriage. Okay. Have you ever been in a situation where in marriage or even in your relationship you were offended, or you felt offended, all right, or you even offended someone or your partner in this context, right? You offended your partner, you offended your spouse, or it could be the other way around, your spouse offended you, right? And somehow in that situation it was difficult for either of you to apologize. Okay, it was difficult for you to apologize, one, and probably it was also difficult for you to forgive, or for your partner to forgive you. Okay, have you been in such a situation? All right, have you? Okay, in marriage, even in life generally, so long as you're relating with people, offenses would always come. Offenses would always come. And there is a disposition and perception I have about conflicts, right? And it is that conflict, once well managed, right, makes you understand your partner better and makes you even grow in intimacy with your partner. All right, if you can manage that conflict well. Okay, so the fact that there are offenses in your relationship, the fact that you have misunderstanding from time to time, it's only a human factor. It shows that you are human. All right, it shows that you are human. So it's not out of place to experience misunderstanding, arguments, sometimes conflicts, in your relationship and marriage. Okay, and so that is the foundation that I want to lay before we proceed into apology and forgiveness. Of course, what is apology? If there is no offense, then there's no need to apologize. All right, so apology is a regrettable, I checked the dictionary, and it says that it's a regrettable acknowledgement of an offense or failure. Is a regrettable acknowledgement of an offense or failure. All right. So, of course, for you to apologize, it means that first, you must first acknowledge that, something went wrong. You must first acknowledge that, yes, you were offended, or your partner offended you, or you offended your partner. All right. So, that is apology. It is that you acknowledge that there is an offense, is a regrettable acknowledgement of an offense or failure. And as we proceed, please stay on to the end. As we proceed, we will still talk about how, people apologize. Okay. Sometimes, I've had cases where, I just, in fact, even from the start of our marriage, my husband used to apologize more, than I used to. All right. And it was really, a period for us to really understand ourselves even more. Understand, it was quicker for him to say, I am sorry. All right. Meanwhile, it wasn't as easy for me. Okay, so as we proceed, you also get to know why. Sometimes, you know that you've offended your partner. You know that you should actually apologize, but to actually apologize may come out may not easily come out from your mouth. It may saying I'm sorry may not easily come out. All right, from your mouth. Okay, an apology, of course, is even beyond I am sorry. I was working with a young couple some days back, and she told me that her husband just always says I'm sorry, and it doesn't stop the occurrence of the issue. The issue will still occur again, and he will say I'm sorry. The issue will still occur again, and he will say I'm sorry. He just keeps apologizing and thinks that is the way to just excuse himself from the issue on ground. All right, and so we will talk about all of these dynamics with respect to apology. Okay, so to start with, we talked about the definition of apology, all right, which is a regretful acknowledgement of an offense or failure. All right, and I want to also say that there's so many myths surrounding this word or this term apology. I'm sure you've heard cases where they say that real men don't apologize. Real men don't cry in marriage. When you apologize or when you say I'm sorry, is a sign of weakness. All right, I'm sure you have heard cases like that. And so today we will be talking more about that. So the second thing I'd like to share is that apology is not a sign of weakness. Apology is not a sign of weakness. Instead, it is a sign of strength. It is a sign of maturity. All right, it is a sign of strength, and it's a sign of maturity. There are several scenarios that I would like to point to us, and as we proceed you would get to understand more. So make sure that you're here till the end. All right, so apology is not a sign of weakness. It is not a sign of failure. All right, it is a sign of strength and a sign of maturity. It shows that you are matured. It shows that you are matured. It shows that you are strong, because for you to even apologize, it means that first you have acknowledged that there is an offense, or you've acknowledged that you offended your partner. Okay, and sometimes it may take you some time for you to realize that you have actually offended your partner, right? Because there are cases where you feel that you are the one, you are right, you are right, and your partner is telling you that you have offended me, like I feel offended, this thing you did is wrong. All right, this thing you did really hurts me, and you may feel that no, it's nothing, it's not a big deal. All right, it's not a big deal, and so you may not really see the need to apologize. Okay, and so it takes maturity. It takes maturity for you to listen. It takes maturity for you to go out of your own sometimes come out of your own shoes, right, and see things from the perspective of your partner. Okay, so that you can actually know if or how it really, really offends your partner, how your actions really offends your partner. And of course, what are we in marriage for? What are you in that relationship for? It is for, understanding. It is for you to, blend. It is for you to of course make that relationship work. It is for you to bring out the best in each other, to ensure that your smiles remain intact. Okay, so anytime that you see that your partner is unhappy, anytime you see that in fact there are times that your partner comes out to you and tells you directly that you have offended me. I feel offended by this action. Why did you do this? Or you shouldn't have done that, or you should have done this, and all of that. It should call for concern. You should be patient to listen to your partner, to know why he or she feels offended. So it is very, very important to know that apology is not a sign of weakness. Instead, it is a sign of strength, and it is a sign of maturity. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign of maturity. All right. And there's something I always say, and it is the fact that once you are able to accept God's forgiveness, once you've been able to accept God's forgiveness, all right, it also helps you extend the same gesture, all right, to your fellow human being. All right, so once we are able to accept God's forgiveness, it helps you extend the same gesture, right, to your fellow human being, because we are all work in progress. We need to continue working on ourselves. We need to continue working on ourselves and develop that character trait of maturity. All right, so when you're able, there's a portion in our Lord's Prayer, that talks about, forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us. All right, so as you are forgiving your partner, you are also indirectly accepting the fact that you also are not perfect. Okay, you are indirectly accepting the fact, or directly accepting the fact that you also are not perfect. You are not perfect. There's a portion in the scriptures that talks about dropping, if you're going to the altar to pray, dropping your sacrifice. If you suddenly remember that your brother has something against you, you drop that sacrifice on the altar. Go back and reconcile with your brother, before you come back and give that sacrifice. Okay, and this is so profound, because it just shows that God is not, as much as God is interested in what we're bringing or what we are coming to offer to Him, He is much more interested in our heart. He's much more interested in the state of our heart, especially even the state of your heart towards your fellow, brother, your fellow sister, your partner, your spouse. Okay, and so that's why, if you're a Christian, for example, it's mandatory that you ensure that you are in the right state of mind with your partner. You are in the right state of mind with your fellow sister, with your fellow brother, before you even say you want to pray and expect that your prayer is answered. I'm sure there's a reference to this also in other religions. There's a reference to this also, for Muslims. All right. So if you want to, if you demand or expect that God forgives you, then we should also be able to extend this gesture. We should be able to extend this to our fellow brothers and sisters, especially your partner and your spouse. Okay, because of course with your partner, your spouse, basically like every now and then, all right, and so you're in each other's faces, and that means that you will definitely offend each other, all right, and so we need to be open-minded. Okay, and so forgiveness, all right, apology, people express apology in different ways. All right, people express apology in different ways, and we're going to be talking about that even as we progress. your background, all right, your background, your experiences in the past, the way you were raised also would determine to a large extent, how you apologize, how you forgive, what you saw while growing up, all right, how you saw your parents apologize to each other or deal with conflicts, deal with offenses, will to a large extent, right, determine or affect how you also respond to conflict and respond to offenses. And so this is why it is very important to be intentional enough to know if it is working, if it is serving you, if how you saw your parents, or you saw your guardian, or you saw those who raised you, right, you saw them apologize to one another, or how they dealt with conflicts and offenses. If it is not serving your relationship, if it is not serving you presently, for example, if your partner is still complaining about the fact that you cannot just simply say I am sorry, all right, then it means that you need to work on it. Like I said earlier, we are all work in progress. I had to learn it, all right, I had to learn it, and today the story is different. Okay, so Gary Chapman, the author of what's this book now? The author of The 5 Love Languages, he also talked about apology language, all right? He talked about apology language. So just as you have the 5 love languages, right, quality time, acts of service, gifts, words of affirmation, physical touch, just as you have all of that, as strategies or tools to use to show love and to receive love from your partner, all right, we also have, apology language. It talked about, the first being not in any particular order, right? Expressing regret, right? Apology language. And of course, what is apology language? Is that language with which you apologize, all right? With which you acknowledge hurts, all right? Acknowledge that you have been offended, or your partner has offended you, and so you now express your apology in that particular language, all right? And we're going to be talking about some of those languages, right? And so it talked about the fact that you should the first is that you express regret, all right? Express regret is this expressing regret is more or less like an emotional language. And for this category of people, right, they expect that they see apology as expression of regret, and so they expect that you should show how much you have really hurt, or how much or how sorry you are. You should express it. And so this is where the category of people who expect you to say I am sorry, all right? And you don't just say I am sorry, you say what you're sorry for. Have you been in that situation where your partner tells you he or she is sorry, all right? I'm sorry. Maybe something happens and you just say I'm sorry, all right? And then you now ask, so what are you really sorry for? What are you sorry for? Because you want to really know that this person actually understands the level of, understands how much he or she has hurt you, how much he or she has offended you, all right? And so this is the language, expression of regret, okay? And this is where you say I am sorry, and you don't just say I am sorry, you attach why you are actually sorry, all right? You don't just say I'm sorry, you attach why you are actually sorry, okay? So if your partner has expressed this particular language to you, then you should know that that is the apology language of your partner, right? If your partner has told you before, I know that I've also said that, to my partner, your partner says I'm sorry, and then you say, so what are you really sorry for? So they don't just take the I'm sorry. Of course, the I'm sorry, in fact, you have to start with I'm sorry, but it doesn't just end with I'm sorry. You have to say why you are really sorry. Okay, so this is the first, this is one of the apology languages, that of expression of regret, all right? And another is accepting responsibility, okay? So accepting responsibility, shows that, it makes you, okay, an example would be, I was wrong. All right, I was wrong and I am at fault, right? And then explain, what exactly, what exactly was the issue. Okay, so you don't just say, I'm sorry. This one has to do with accepting responsibility. You say that I was wrong, I was at fault. All right, then explain further. This makes who you are apologizing to, right, understand, that yes, you are actually apologizing. This is the language they understand. And so until this language is spoken, until you express apology in this language, they may not feel that you have actually apologized, and so they may still feel offended. All right, and so it is important that you understand the apology language of your partner so that you can express this apology language, not the way you would, not just as we have for love languages. You don't express love the way you feel your partner should be loved, but the way your partner wants to be loved. Right? You may feel that your partner just likes gifts. Oh, okay, let me just keep buying. No, you may feel that, oh, I feel that my partner should appreciate these gifts. Let me just buy this gift. But your partner may feel, oh no, I want words of affirmation. That is what makes me know that you actually love me. That is what makes me feel loved. Anytime you affirm me, anytime you say, oh, I love you, or or you encourage your partner, I believe in you and all of that. I feel so loved. Coming from you, I feel so loved. All right, so that is the same way you should also get to understand the apology language of your partner. Get to understand the apology language of your partner so that you can express, whenever you have conflict, you can express apology in that language, and they will be able to understand it and easily come to terms. All right, and easily forgive. All right. So you take responsibility. For this category of people that want you to accept responsibility, I'm sorry doesn't just cut it. You don't just say I'm sorry to them. All right, you would actually have to accept responsibility and say that yes, I was wrong and at fault. I know I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that, So you accept, when you accept responsibility, and then they say, oh yeah, okay, you actually know, you're on track, that you have offended me, and you are actually, you have accepted, this responsibility. Another category of people, of apology, another category of apology language is, making restitution. All right, making restitution. So it doesn't just stop with I'm sorry. It doesn't stop with accepting responsibility. This category of people want you to make restitution. All right, they want you to make it right. They want you to make it up. All right, they want you to make it up. And most often than not, if you ask your partner who you have offended, okay, so you can even say, I'm sorry, I know that I was wrong, I shouldn't have done this, and I'll be so happy to make it up to you. How do you think I can make it up to you? How can I make it up to you? What do you want me to do? All right, and they'll be very open, to share with you what actually you can do to make it up to them. So the whole idea of this is for you to understand your partner better. Understand, because that is what you are in that relationship. You can't really connect with who you do not understand, and who you're not willing or intentional about, who you're not willing to know, right? Who you're not willing to know, who you're not willing to learn about. You cannot connect. And of course, if there is no connection, then you're just in that marriage, you're just there. All right, so this category of people want you to make restitution. They want you to make restitution. And so you would always find yourself asking, so how can I make it up to you? How can I make it up to you? This thing, as little as it is, or as simple as it may sound, apology, it is breaking homes today. It is breaking homes today. And there are many cases where, if it's not even breaking the home, if it does not destroy the home, right, it makes the home unbearable. It makes you endure your marriage and not enjoy your marriage. And so that is why it is very important that you understand the apology language of your partner and speak that language whenever there is an offense, whenever you feel that you have hurt your partner. All right, understand the way they would understand apology and speak that language to them. Assure them of your love. All right, assure them of your love. You can even use the love language of your partner and assure him or her of your love. Make it up to him or her through his or her love language. And like I said earlier, they would tell you. There was a day that for example, there was a day my partner forgot my was that my birthday? I think it was my birthday, and he has never forgotten my birthday, right? Even a day to that day, he was even still saying it. Your birthday is 2 days to that day. He was even saying, your birthday is on Tuesday. It's on Tuesday. We were just talking and everything, but that day, I don't know what happened. My husband forgot the birthday, right? And I decided not to tell him. So I was just waiting. I was just acting normal, and everything. And then he went to the office, and all. And then I can't even remember how he got to find out, or maybe I told him eventually or something. I can't remember. Or when I made a post, or I can't even remember. It's been I can't remember when exactly. And then he apologized. He said no. He was talking with one of his colleagues, and I think the colleague now mentioned the date. I said, what? This is 16th. Wow. How did I forget? Wow. And I've had this thing in my head and everything. Immediately he just called me. In fact, he was telling his colleague, Jesus, how could this have happened? So immediately he called me, and I was just like, okay. How did he forget and everything? He said, that is so sorry that, he apologized, and then he asked me, so how can I just make it up to you? I mean, that was like a blank check for me. Trust me now. I asked, for what I wanted, and I got it. All right, I asked for what I wanted, and he got it for me. All right, so it was just a way, for him to show how much how sorry he was. And of course, with the fact that you don't in marriage, apology comes with because you love your partner, you would always want your partner to be in good terms with your partner. You would always want to be in good terms with your spouse. Okay, and so whatever it takes for that marriage to work, you should be willing to make it work. All right. The fourth category is, genuinely expressing the desire to change. All right. So it doesn't just stop at, saying I'm sorry, accepting responsibility, making restitution. Now you need to express the desire to change, the behavior. You need to come up with ideas, right? Come up with ideas on how such offense or behavior would not reoccur. All right, will not reoccur. And so in this context, you can even ask your partner can partner with you to help you, to work with you, so that this offense does not reoccur, this conflict does not reoccur. All right. So you should genuinely express the desire to change behavior. So sometimes you would offend your partner and you say I'm sorry, but your partner doesn't even, partner just feels that you have not really apologized. Like you're just saying you're sorry, but this thing you are still going to do it again, right? And so this category of people want you to. There are some people that want to just say I'm sorry, that goes, right? But this category of people want you to genuinely express the desire to change, behavior, right? So it doesn't just like I said, all of us got our apology languages from our upbringing, from our parents, from our guardian. All right. So how you saw your parent apologize, how you saw your parent receive or give apology would also determine or would affect how you would give or receive apology. And so this is why you need to observe these patterns and work on the areas that you need to work on. All right. And the final category is people that want you to request. All right. They want you to make the request. And so when you tell this category of people, so would you please forgive me? Would you please forgive me? All right? They feel, oh, this my wife or this my husband is truly, truly sorry. When you make that request. So the whole idea of this is for you to observe and understand how your partner loves to receive apology. Okay, and so you both need to discuss so that you also tell your partner how you love to receive apology. All right, and your partner also tells you the same, so that you're working together as a team. All right, forgiveness is a decision. Forgiveness is a decision, and from the dictionary, is a decision to let go of hurts, let go of grudges, of bitterness, of resentments. So forgiveness, right, doesn't even necessarily mean that it doesn't mean that you would forget the offense. You may not even forget the offense, but when you remember the offense, right, it wouldn't hurt you anymore. If you are forgiven, if you have treated, that's one way to know that you have truly forgiven. The moment you remember that offense, you would not remember how hurtful it was, because you're forgiven the person. So it doesn't even, when they say forgive and forget, just forgive and forget, you may not even necessarily forget, because the amygdala, the amygdala, that's the memory part of the brain. It keeps memories. It doesn't forget. All right. And so, but when you remember the experiences, the hurtful experiences you had when that incident or the issue occurred, would not repeat itself, you won't relive that experience, because it is no longer painful, and that means that you have truly forgiven. All right, so forgiveness is a decision. All right, so please, I also want to say at this point that you need to wait for your partner to forgive you. Wait for your partner to forgive you. All right, don't feel entitled. Don't think that, oh, okay, because Shebi, I've apologized now, and what else do you want? I've apologized, and so you should just take it. Don't be entitled. It's okay for your partner. It's okay for you to process thoughts, to process your thoughts. All right, it's okay for you to process your thoughts. All right, the only thing is, don't allow it linger for too long. Don't allow it linger on for too long. There was someone who said I offended her, and I had to meet. No, in fact, she didn't tell me personally. She was just saying it randomly to somebody, and because that person is also my friend, came to me and said, this is it. Did you by any chance do this and all, because this person is offended and everything. And I was like, wow, really? I never did anything like this. Why would she be offended and all of that? And I had to meet with her, and I told her, I said, this is it, this is what I heard and all of that, and I feel that I need to meet with you, and we had to talk and everything. And she was like, but I don't know that she doesn't want to talk about it, that it's okay, it's fine, that is gone in her mind and everything. I said, no, that if you don't want to talk about it, it's not okay with me, right? It may be okay for you, it's not okay with me. In fact, I remember making a reference. I was like, I'm very much after having my state of mind is so important to me, that I guard it a lot. And so when I am hurt, when I'm offended, or when I feel there is something bothering me, I let it out immediately. If my husband offends me now, I let it out immediately. I express it. I say, in fact, initially, because of my what's it called now, temperament type, I used to, first of all, process or analyze, and I can just, analyze and just linger on there without expressing how I really feel. So it was, when I started really working on myself. All right, so it's important that you know yourself, know the areas that you need to work on. All right. So when I started working on myself, I realized that I can't continue like this because it will keep affecting me. All right. So your partner may even offend you and may not even know. But you are busy. I'll be keeping it in my mind, and it's affecting me. And your partner is living life. All right. So it is important that you express yourself, and this is where also communication comes in. You need to understand how to communicate effectively, because it is not enough to just say, okay, let me just express it, let me just say how I feel and everything, let me just say it as it is. There are emotionally intelligent ways of speaking. There are ways that you can speak, there are ways that you can communicate so that your message can be gotten better. All right, because sometimes even the apology, if you may find out that when you even apologize, sometimes it may make the matter worse. So you need to understand how to actually communicate your message. All right. So don't feel entitled. Right. Request for the forgiveness and wait to be forgiven. All right, wait. And if your partner is still taking his or her time, give him time, give her time. All right, to come to terms. Don't just say, because you're my wife, because you're my husband, so you should automatically just forgive. All right. So it's okay to take your time, but just don't make it linger for too long, right? And in a case where you're still finding it hurtful, you're still bitter, you're still angry, you're still hurt, you can submit to someone. And that's why I always say that every marriage should have a coach, you should have a therapist, a family therapist, you should have a family counselor you submit to or you're accountable to, so that in cases where cases like this, for example, where you feel peradventure you feel betrayed, you feel hurt, you feel bitter, angry, you feel so bad, and everything, like the world is crumbling, you can submit to accountability, you can submit to mentorship, submit to your coach, submit to your guardian. In some cases it could be your pastor, it could be your your coach, it could be your mentor, someone that both of you respect. And this should be in place before you even get married. And peradventure you are married and you're married without, you don't have someone that your spouse listens to, someone that you listen to. I encourage you to have one. Discuss with your partner and have one, so that you some issues will not just linger on, or you don't just sweep issues under the carpet because you don't want to talk about it, or because you would you're scared of the reaction of your partner. Okay, so please, by all means, don't get entitled. Wait to be forgiven. All right, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to process your thoughts. It's okay to breathe in and breathe out over the issue, but don't let it linger for too long. Even the scripture says, don't let the sun go down on your anger. All right. So I hope that you're getting value so far, and I hope that you're able to understand the apology language of your partner. So how you can also know this is, try and recall the last time you were offended. Try and recall the last time your partner apologized to you. How did your partner apologize to you? It may also be a pointer to how your partner wants you to apologize to him or her whenever there is a conflict, whenever there is an issue. So observe and try to remember these. All right. And then another thing is, in remembering these, how your partner apologized to you. When your partner used that language to apologize to you, did you feel that the apology was sincere? Did you feel that your partner was sincere? Did you feel that there was that sincerity in the apology? All right. So all of this is to help you understand the apology language that your partner would embrace easily. All right. So today I'm giving you that challenge. Go share with each other what you would love to hear during apology. When you offend your partner, when you I'm so sorry for the noise in the background. My children are having a field day. All right. So share with each other what you would love to hear during the apology. Okay. And please be open. Be open. Don't say your partner is asking for too much. All right. It's your partner does not hate what he or she likes. All right, and your partner does not like what he or she hates. Okay, so please listen to each other, share with each other what you'd love to hear during an apology. So are you one who would expect that your partner should tell you, I am sorry? Okay, are you one who would expect that your partner should tell you, I am sorry? All right, are you one who would want it extended? I am sorry that so and so. All right, are you one who would want your partner to make it up to you, not just to say I'm sorry, but you want your partner to make it up to you? Are you one who you want your partner to genuinely express the desire to change the behavior? All right, are you one who would want your partner to request forgiveness? Okay, so you should express this to your partner. All right, express this to your partner, and your partner should also express his or her own language to you. Okay, so these are ways that we can continually make our marriage, make our marriage work, make our relationship last, because there are many conflicts. Conflicts are inevitable in a relationship. Conflicts are inevitable in your marriage. Okay. Offenses will keep coming. In fact, one of my pastors will say, hurry up and resolve this one so that you can resolve another, because another is on his way, so that you can have time to resolve another. All right. And the more you get better, the better you get at resolving your conflict, the more you would grow in intimacy, the more the conflict would even reduce. All right. So I hope that you have gotten value from today's lesson, today's training. All right. Apology is not a sign of weakness. Men apologize. All right. So if your partner, is not apologizing, then you need to trace it down. Ask questions. Get to know more why your partner, fails to say I am sorry. All right, you need to get to know more, get to the deep roots of, the root cause of why your partner fails to say I am sorry. All right, you need to get to the root cause. You need to ask questions. You need to get to know more. What are the experiences he or she has had? All right, peradventure he or she saw his father never apologizing to his mother. All right, but eventually she saw her father, or her mother never apologizing to her father, or the other way around. All right, and there's some people that just try to they don't want to say I'm sorry, but we just try to cover up. You go and buy gifts, buy gifts for your partner. You're not saying I'm sorry, or you buy gifts for your partner. You do all sorts, although it's part of it, right? But the most important thing is for you to understand how your partner loves to be apologized to, so that your relationship can be seamless. All right. There's some people that also use sex as apology. All right. Okay. This is what I always say in this context is, in as much as you would have sex, right, let that sex not remove the place of discussion, not remove the place of discussing your issues, because undiscussed issues remain unresolved. If you use sex to cover up today, you may not be able to use sex to cover up tomorrow. So it's better you resolve your issues, talk about it, share with each other. All right, so that you can also build. This will help build your friendship. Okay. So I hope that today has been worth your time. You would understand and learn how to continue to make your relationship and marriage work. Okay, you would learn how to apologize and how to forgive. And peradventure you're still finding it difficult to forgive. All right, you may need therapy. You may need help. Right? one of the ways you can also do this is to pray to God to help you. All right, pray to God to help you. And if you feel that there are still so many things that are inside that you want to just let out, then you need to work with a therapist. You need to work with a coach. All right, and this will help you a whole lot. Okay, so today we have talked about apology because it goes a long way in making your marriage work, in making your relationship seamless, in making both of you closer to each other. Because offenses will keep coming and you keep apologizing. All right, you keep apologizing, and of course, it's not just for you to say I'm sorry. It's not just for you to just apologize, of course, because the more if you just apologize and you're not working at ensuring that it doesn't reoccur. All right, at a point it will become draining. It will become even more offensive. Okay. So thank you so much. It's been a beautiful time. I've had a lovely time here, and I'm so excited, and I hope that you can put this into practice so that your marriage can continue to work. All right, and if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the comments, feel free to ask, or feel free to reach out. Okay, and one final thing I want to say is you need to establish a love culture. You need to establish a love culture in your relationship and marriage. This way, you will be on the same page. You'll be on the same page, and this would help it will help conflicts. It will minimize the conflicts that you have. All right, because already you're on the same page, already you agree. And please remember that the fact that you have conflict, it doesn't mean that your partner hates you or you hate your partner. It's just it's a human factor. You're different from different backgrounds. You have different perceptions. You have different what's it called now? Is it philosophy, right? And so it takes understanding, it takes maturity, it takes brokenness, it takes humility, it takes patience. All right, because sometimes too it can be an egoistic thing, where you're finding it difficult to just say I'm sorry, or to say I'm sorry, or to accept responsibility. So I hope that today you will take the plunge rather than just cover up, rather than pretend that there is nothing happening, or you did not offend your partner, or your partner you did not offend your partner, or your partner doesn't feel hurt. You will take responsibility today and ask your partner for forgiveness, and be patient. Wait to be forgiven. Don't feel entitled. Give your partner time, and don't just leave your partner and say, oh, okay, I've asked for forgiveness. If she's ready, if she likes, if she doesn't, if he doesn't like, if he or she likes, you should stick around. All right, don't just abandon your partner, or don't just leave the scene. Stick around, and your partner will come around. Thank you so much for being here. Till I come your way next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep growing. Bye for now.